All right, in the last video we learned 4 argument forms, and in this video you'll learn, so I called them just argument forms 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this video you'll be learning argument forms 5 through 7. So we will learn those, and although the other ones were normally just either valid or invalid and none of them were inductively forceful, in this one we'll at least learn one inductively forceful argument. So here we go. Okay, so this is argument form number 5. So, premise 1, most Canadians are friendly. Premise 2, David is Canadian. Okay. Now, I felt this was true. I spent a year teaching in Canada, and most of them did seem to be friendly. But supposing they're not, well, this is about inductive forcefulness. It's if the premises are true, does this conclusion follow? Does it follow that probably David is friendly? And so suppose most Canadians are friendly, and all you know is that David is Canadian. It's going to follow that probably David is friendly. Okay, so we'll say it's not valid. Okay, it could be that David's Canadian, not friendly, but it is inductively forceful. Okay, so we last got our example of an inductively forceful argument. Now let's put this in symbols. So premise 1, most A's are B's. Premise 2, X is an A. So we conclude probably X is a B. Now, that's number 5. Now we'll go on to argument number 6. Premise 1, let's start with this other early one, most Canadians are friendly. Premise 2, let's make it Jenny is friendly Now suppose we concluded probably Jenny is Canadian. Okay, does this follow? Well, suppose it's true that most Canadians are friendly, more than 50%. Suppose you meet someone named Jenny and she's friendly. Does it follow that probably Jenny is Canadian? No, so it doesn't. This definitely is not valid. And it's also not inductively forceful. I mean, there's a lot of people in this world that are friendly that aren't Canadian. There's people from other countries, Ethiopia, Greece, China, like that. There's a lot of countries. So the fact that somebody's friendly, and even if most Canadians are friendly, it doesn't follow that probably Jenny is Canadian. So notice how this is different from this one, okay? We can see it more clearly if we use the symbols. Most A's are B's. Premise 2. So X is a B. Therefore, conclusion, probably X is an A. So this is really key, right? An argument of this form, most A's are B's, X is an A, so probably X is a B, that's inductively forceful. But this one, most A's are B's, X is a B, probably X is an A, not inductively forceful. Okay, one more, and this is gonna be our last one. So there's 7 new argument forms where we have to assess both validity and inductive forcefulness. And so here's number 7. Okay. Premise 1. We'll start with our same first premise. Most Canadians are friendly. Premise 2. Sally is not Canadian. Conclude. Okay, can we conclude this? Probably Sally is not friendly. Can we conclude this? So most of the Canadians are friendly. Sally's not Canadian. Does it follow that Sally's not friendly? Well, this certainly isn't valid. Can we say that it's inductively forceful? Well, I guess not, because there's a lot of people that aren't Canadian, a lot. Okay, and so no matter what you say about most Canadians being friendly, given that there's so many people that aren't Canadian, it just doesn't follow. It's neither here nor there that it's not that Sally's not friendly. Like, you can't conclude that. So this is going to not be inductively forceful. Okay. So of these new argument forms, the only one that is inductively forceful is this one. So, but let's learn the argument form for this. So most A's are B's. P2. X is not an A. Conclusion, probably X is not a B. Okay, and yeah, so here we go. So you got 7 argument forms to familiarize yourself with. Here's something valuable about what we just learned here, though. Earlier we talked about stereotypes. And stereotypes are oftentimes, they're generalizations, and they're oftentimes unjustified. But we did talk about how there are some generalizations that are okay to make, and sometimes they can be supported by evidence. It could become supported by evidence that most Canadians are friendly, or most of a certain ethnic group or some group could have a certain property. Okay? Now what we can learn is how to reason with that. And it would have to follow this argument form, okay, but not one of these, because these aren't going to be inductively forceful. So it might be that most Asians have black hair, and you find out that some person is Asian. They probably do have black hair. But let's say you find out most Asians have black hair, but there's someone with black hair. It doesn't follow that they're probably Asian. So that would be this one, right? Or most Asians have black hair, and someone's not Asian, it doesn't follow that they probably don't have black hair. Okay, so you can actually reason with these generalizations about people and do them in inductively forceful or non-inductively forceful ways. Okay. Now remember though, there's 2 ways we can go wrong with generalizations. We can go evidentially wrong or morally wrong. What I've just been talking about is only about not going evidentially wrong. We want our claims to be evidentially supported. Okay, but there are other reasons that where we don't want to be morally wrong. We don't want to offend people or hurt their feelings or put people in a box, stuff like that. So yeah, all right. So that's some new stuff we learned. Familiarize yourself with these argument forms, and we'll start learning and how to apply this in our Zoom session. So.